Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm making this video outside today because it is very beautiful out. And so, I apologize if you hear some cars going by, but I'll try to talk loud enough. I want to actually read out of 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 to 8, because in the time that we're in right now, these verses 100% apply, and although the context might be a little bit different, it certainly does apply to the bride of Christ. And I just have a simple message. So starting at verse 3, it says, "For the time will come when men will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear." Now, we see that all over right now. "They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. But you," this is where it applies to us, "keep your head in all situations, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, discharge all the duties of your ministry." At verse 6, "For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing." Now there is one specific verse out of all of that which I want to emphasize, and that is verse 6. This has been on my mind recently. It says, "For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure." Okay, so for the true bride, it's the time of our departure, as we know. And what I like about the way it's worded is that it says, "I'm already being poured out like a drink offering." And I wanted to encourage you guys today to just continue living with your whole heart for God, holding back nothing, being all about his kingdom and all about the advancement of his will and, the work of the Father, being all about that, such that it's as though our lives are being poured out. And the message that I had behind that is, in all honesty, we owe that to God. We owe him a life poured out. Now, of course, here in the scriptures, it's as though he's describing that he's going to die, or that he's going to be put to death. So his life is like a drink offering poured out. So you could imagine like his blood being poured out. But in our case, being, like the scripture talks about, being living sacrifices, like that, like our lives being poured out. It's like, of everything in us to give it. Because, like I was saying, we owe that to God, to live our lives as a drink offering poured out. Because what did Jesus Christ do? Like, Jesus Christ certainly poured out his life for us, quite literally. He quite literally poured out his life. His blood was poured out for the remission of sins. And if you ever checked out my Sower in the Faith channel for the bride, it wasn't just for salvation, but for great portion in his kingdom, as far as the great tasks that can be carried out throughout eternity. And so I was just wanted to say that we owe him that. We owe him a life poured out, just like he poured out his life for us. And so I made a video recently that also ties to this message that would be saying a little bit more, and that is talking about never tiring of doing what's right. And that video, it's titled Knowing Our Calling, Significance, or something like that. But it's just along the same lines of what I've said here. Just a reminder that he poured out his life, so let's pour out our lives unto him too. And I love you guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.